Ranjan, help us out here. Where do you sit on this side of the debate? Is AMC a growth company? Is it a tech company? Or is this just getting, too inflated from the fundamentals?
Yep, that question, is it a tech company, has certainly been the question around any kind of growth story over the last few years. But I think it is worth stopping and looking at what is happening to the fundamental business, because hype aside, certainly market capitalization aside, it looks like a business that's coming out of, an exogenous shock that's doing kind of well. 22 million tickets sold. Food and beverage per patron is up 44% versus 2019, which is a good sign. And they're doing kind of creative things. Again, it's not a technology play, but streaming UFC fights on a Saturday night and charging $25 per ticket, that shows they understand their customer, and that shows that at least they can try new movie things. They have a new deal with Warner Brothers where they're going to have 45 days exclusivity, which is a classic movie business thing. So they are turning around the movie business itself. But I agree, accepting cryptocurrency, it does not make you a technology company, but what it does do is show Adam Aaron knows the Elon Musk school of search engine optimization. He knows what to say. He knows how to drive the conversation away from fundamentals and get every headline talking about cryptocurrency.
Right. So how do you think then that retail investors should be taking this with a grain of salt? Do you think that these are promises that he can actually deliver on?
I think if the movie business does turn around, the Jungle Cruise and Suicide Squad, the poor performances, were they bad movies, or is that just a larger secular sign about where the industry is going? AMC has $2 billion in cash. They have that firepower and war chest to try to do something. If anyone's going to do it versus a Regal, a Cinemark, or IMAX, or anyone, they are in position. But again, Bitcoin, it's a distraction. We should be talking about, when you're a retail investor, you're thinking about this, it should be whatever the future of movies is. Could it be AMC? And to be honest, I would rather it be AMC than Amazon takes over every single movie theater and it becomes part of your Prime membership. Maybe a company that has known movies for a century could take us to that future of movies. But I will agree with John, they have not shown a very clear path to get us there.
And don't get me wrong, Ranja, I love going to movie theaters. As a matter of fact, I love the premium movie theaters, the AMC type movie theaters, where they give me a cushy seat that reclines and a really nice screen and the Dolby surround sound, all that stuff. If I'm going to go out and see it, I want it to be really nice. So as a consumer, I'm rooting for that experience, and we'll see where the valuation in AMC sort of shakes out. But I think we're talking about something also that perhaps investors should zero in on. I remember the .com and how everybody was sort of using the internet as that began to rise as a connection to their business and why their valuation should be high, whether it was a real connection or not. How much do you see that happening with a variety of things, whether it's crypto or cloud, which has become almost meaningless in a lot of cases, or other buzzwords these days that perhaps tend to have an impact on sentiment and stock prices, but maybe not the fundamentals?
I think that is the single most important question, John, because there's been so much innovation and transformation over the last few years that it becomes easy for a company to just stick it into whatever their public statement is and try to kind of ascribe themselves to that kind of valuation. If you remember blockchain, the Long Island iced tea blockchain company from a few years ago that, went ballistic and saw their stock price go up just by putting blockchain in their name. But I think this is a really important point, is for the past few years, as a CEO, you could say anything. As a company, there was no real check against what you are saying in the public sphere. And we've talked about this here before. In the entire investor relations side, are there controls over what you can publicly say? And I think the SEC, the entire financial regulatory system, is starting to show that they're not going to play fast and loose anymore. On the cryptocurrency side, you see it, over the last week, how much has happened, how aggressively things have been pushed. That fast and loose environment of the last 5 years, I do believe it's over. And I think how liberal we can be with the crypto CEO just saying crypto, blockchain, cloud, I think is going to change, and people have to back these things up.